Hello friends, my name is Nikolai, DreamLife Cyprus company. Today we want to talk about one topic. Northern Cyprus, what is it? We're located in a wonderful place, the Esentepe region. The place is very beautiful, good views, there are beautiful places. You may ask why we constantly make videos near the sea. Because Northern Cyprus is first of all it is the sea. What is Northern Cyprus? I do not want to go deep into history and details, but I will briefly tell you. In 1974, there was a military conflict on the island, and it was divided into two parts. This is the Republic of Cyprus or Southern Cyprus, which occupies most of the island, and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. This is the territory of Cyprus, which is under control or leadership of Turkey. Although it is an independent state that also has its own government officials. Of course, it has its own parliament, its own president, its own ministers and officials. Just like in Southern Cyprus, like in any other company. Why all the same Northern Cyprus? Why does it attract foreigners and tourists and people from all over the world? Firstly, this is an unrecognized country, and for most people who come here, this is a big plus. What are the advantages here? For example, at one time Southern Cyprus was such a zone offshore. It was a free trade zone, people brought money there. Well, let's say it like it is without further ado. Now Northern Cyprus, to some extent, occupies a similar role. If you have a lot of money and you don't want to show it to anyone, you come here, open a bank account, invest in real estate, and no one knows anything about it. This is one of the biggest pluses for investors and for people who want to make money here. Local authorities do not care where you get this money from. Of course, sometimes they ask for decency, but basically nobody is interested. If you buy at least 5 apartments, no one will ask you anything from where you get the money and why you bought it. Of course, you will not pay taxes for your own money if you brought here. The maximum you can be charged is bank commissions for transfers of personal funds. Well, no one will demand anything from you for cash. This is another plus. Buying real estate also has its advantages. Firstly, if you have a property here, then no one can control it, except Turkey. An important advantage is that when you buy an apartment or a house here, it remains your property, of course, if everything is done correctly, because there are also pitfalls and subtleties here, and yet there is a problematic and non-problematic land. But more on that in other videos. Speaking of real estate, firstly, if you bought real estate here, then none of the European countries or your countries can actually block it here, because this territory is not recognized, and not a single state can do anything here. The good thing is that it's quiet here, it's safe here. It is comfortable to stay and live here. There are some limitations here, for example, you need to get here through Turkey or through South Cyprus. But there are undeniable advantages here. First of all, the sea is really cool here. The Mediterranean Sea is the same in the south and in Northern Cyprus. But the sea is a special highlight of this island. I also want to mention the price, of course, standard of living. If we compare prices with the Republic of Cyprus, this is the European Union, this is the zone of Europe. Here, $800 will be enough for you, for 2 people, if we talk about the minimum. This is if you include rental housing and expenses. $800 or euros will be enough for you. If we are talking about the European Union, about the Republic of Cyprus, everything is already much more expensive there. There, one apartment will cost $500–600 a month. It is also expensive to rent here, but in the summer. If we're talking about long-term rent, then here it is about 2 times lower than in South Cyprus or in Europe. This is also not a small plus. The food here is high quality and healthy. These are organic vegetables and fruits grown on the island. Why did I choose Northern Cyprus? For moving for your family. Because it's quiet here, as I said. It is comfortable to live here. There is plenty for my family to do here. Here, of course, there is no such infrastructure as in Europe. There are no big cities, huge malls. But here, in its own way, is a pleasant country for recreation, for life, for work as well. There is work. It is not as much as in motherland countries, but it is. For us, it was a dream life. We came to Cyprus, to an island with a sea, wonderful weather, a very pleasant climate, and ecologically clean nature. Of course, it has its pros and cons. Let's start with the cons. The first, probably the biggest disadvantage for me, is that it is difficult to get here. Let's say I need to come here from some country, which means that I need to make at least one transfer in Turkey. It can be Istanbul or Alanya or Antalya. This often takes a lot of time, half a day at least. The second minus for me personally is that it's still a bit dirty here. Many people throw candy wrappers out of cars. They throw away bottles. Because of this, it is a little dry here. The local authorities are trying to fix it. They clean it here, but the fact remains. The third disadvantage is that obtaining local citizenship here is a rather complicated procedure that is not always successful. This is quite a lengthy process. If we talk about the pluses for me personally, this is a really calm place, a safe place. If you take it by world standards, this is one of the safest places. And yet it is somehow comfortable and cozy to live here. There is another minus. This is that there is not enough infrastructure. There are not enough large malls, entertainment centers, advanced playgrounds. I have children, and I miss this a little. I am personally happy with my move. I also recommend that you come here and see everything with your own eyes. It's worth seeing. There is also such a factor as horror stories about Northern Cyprus. Some clients from Europe and America say that they come across a lot of different information, anti-advertising about Northern Cyprus. They write that there is a war in Northern Cyprus, it is very difficult here, there are homeless people on every corner, theft, and so on. This is not true. Also, people sometimes ask if we fly to Northern Cyprus and they put a stamp on our passport, will we be able to get into Europe? Yes, you can, without problems. Nobody forbids it. The only caveat, of course, is that it matters. If you're arriving at Larnaca or Paphos airport in South Cyprus, and the customs officers ask you the purpose of your trip, and you say, I came to Northern Cyprus, or I came to buy property in Northern Cyprus, you can be immediately deported. You shouldn't tell them about it, because for them it's like a red rag for a bull. This is not worth saying, and we always tell our clients about it right away. And in the end, I would like to say one phrase that I always say to my clients. It is better to see once than hear 100 times. So come join us for a free trial tour. See the island for yourself. Come as a tourist, it's worth seeing this island. It is a beautiful and interesting island with its own nature and culture. With Turkish culture, with Greek culture, with European culture. It is so multifaceted. Come take a look. Subscribe to our channel DreamLife Cyprus, like, write your comments under the video, and see you soon in Northern Cyprus.